And it says we're live. I'm a couple of minutes early. Usually I'm pretty late, if anything. Of course, I'm your host, your most humble host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share. Of course, subscribe while you're at it. Loud and baby. I hit the table. Hit the notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links, all of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use that donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through Spring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Of course, it's Thursday. I'm here. You're beautiful. That must mean that's time for GotBot Goes Live. And we do definitely have news to cover tonight. Not the least of which comes to us from Studio Series and Legacy by way of the Wreck and Rule lineup. And a lot of people have been asking my thoughts about that, so we'll get into it. We're also going to talk about Like Toys, Metroplex, and kind of what I think about that and the likelihood that it will actually happen. We're going to talk about the latest up-and-coming offering from Fans Hobby as well. Yeah, there's a lot to cover. Of course, we're going to do this week's unboxing. There's, something new there. There's certainly something old, and there's a couple of weird things in here. If you were here last week, then you saw that we did an unboxing of a lizard with antlers. That, of course, was Recluse. We had this little plane thing. I don't know. I had somebody after complain in the comments, and they were like, "That's lame. You want people to pay for this?" I don't ask people so much to pay for it. I mean, if you want to help the channel, cool, but no. But like, I don't pay any mind to that sort of stuff when people are like that. Like, he's obviously a worthless, useless human being. So, like, I don't pay much attention to people that aren't worth paying attention to. It's one thing to give constructive criticism. It's another thing to just be rude, right? And I had somebody who tried to give some constructive criticism. Unfortunately, I'm not. It's something I'm not able to do. And the constructive criticism was, why don't you have, when you do the countdown, the picture like up in the corner while you're doing the spiel? I can't. My program that I use for videos, it doesn't allow an overlay like that, so I can't do it. I tried doing it once for a movie review, and it was for the Bumblebee movie actually, and I had like the Bumblebee logo like on the screen. I used this other program, and it took like 72 hours just to render it with that. Like, I don't have that kind of time. I just don't have that kind of time. So if you've ever wondered why, that's why. I tried last summer to look at some other options, and it just didn't work out. And I'm not going to lie. Once school kicks in September, although there are some people that are trying to get it to be in August, but once school kicks in for the new year, like I'm not going to make any progress with that sort of stuff. My day job is just too busy, especially with having to drive back and forth. So there's a couple hours of my day eaten up, right? So if you've ever wondered a little bit about some of that and why certain things don't happen or happen quicker, that's why. I'm one man and I can only do so much. I'm trying for you though, guys. I am trying for you. Of course, I hope you guys are having a tremendous week heading into the weekend. Let's see here. Let's see who we have here. Hey Dragonfly, Maximal 10. Hey Prince, Keldeo, Dragonfly, Devlin. Let's see, Snoke. Been a while since I feel like I've seen you in here, buddy. Or maybe I've just missed you. Maybe I've just missed you. That could be. I can believe that. Let's see. Oh, hold on. I gotta do this. Bear with me. And I'll go down there like that. And I gotta go over there. Thusly. Okay, Maximal 10. I think I missed you, buddy. Hey, Devlin. Hey, Trapjaw. Jay. Manitoba. Yeah, a little bit of an early start, Waspinator. A few minutes anyway. See if I can make some progress. Hey, input. Brian, happy to see you here, buddy. Me and Blue were just talking a few minutes ago. Mr. Rivas, happy to see you here, buddy. Chauncey, glad to see you. Hey, Joe. Hey, Big M. BS Prime. Hey, Zoran. Mike, happy to see you here, man. A lot of times you just kind of come in for a quick minute. Hey, look at that from Hamilton. From Hamilton. Good old Hamilton. Good old Hamilton. I like Hamilton. I've only been there a couple of times, but I've always liked Hamilton. Okay, let's kind of get into the news. I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to try and get into it. Hey, Jason. Hey, Anthony. Nah, you're not late, buddy. I was here a little bit early. Hey, Jerwing. First time here. Well, you know what? I hope that it's actually one of the good shows for you. Let's jump into the news. First things first, BTS showed off a scooter upgrade to go with the Legacy. I'll spit this out in a minute. Legacy. What's the guy's name? Skids. How could I forget Skids' name? And if you're wondering kind of where the scooter comes from, it is an homage to an accessory that came with a Diaclone as well as the Masterpiece. It comes in blue and red, which I think is kind of fitting because, I've heard that we might get a red version of that mold. We're certainly going to be getting a black version, I do believe. I think that was confirmed as part of like the Velocitron subline for Walmart, I think. And I can understand this. It turns into a scooter, turns into a little blaster. It is something, this is one of those accessories that like it's toy accuracy. For somebody like me who's animation accuracy, I don't need it. It's not an accessory for me. And honestly, considering on, the Legacy Skids, like kind of comes with a few things from the pictures and stuff that have been floating around and whatnot. I don't know where you would necessarily put this scooter, but if you're in for it and you're a toy accurate guy like Input, for example, right? Also comes with the Honda City Turbo IRL. Sure. Okay, it comes with that too. Why not? Like for Input, I feel like when I saw this accessory or this upgrade, I was like, who's going to love that? Input. Input's going to love that. For me, cartoon is king. For Input, toy is king. So I feel like if you're somebody who sides more on the toys, I think that you're going to enjoy this. I'm sure it's well enough made. It's not for me, but I respect it, if that makes sense. Hey, Anthony, Devlin. Yeah, cartoon accuracy all the way, baby. Yeah, for me it is. Legacy figures are easily found here in Chicago. I'm surprised because I don't have to use Amazon to purchase these. I think they're going to be easy to find anyway for a couple of reasons. Honestly, I have mixed feelings about the Wreck and Roll subline. Yeah, we're not there yet. We're going to get there. I meant the scooter comes with the Honda that Skids is based. Yeah, I know what you mean. The scooter comes with the real vehicle. I got you. I don't know the real vehicle. I just like the fact that Skids turns into a vehicle that like I could see down my road in somebody's driveway. It's not a Lamborghini. It's not a Corvette. It's not a, some high end thing. It's not a Hummer. It's not a big dump truck. It's not a transport. It's just a family sedan. It's, or maybe it's a coupe. I don't know. I don't know how many doors he got. I always took it as a sedan. He's like a hatchback boy, right? And I like that. I've always liked that. Tomorrow, I assume that tomorrow Twin Twist and Topspin will be revealed. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. I'm not jumping into that. That news will come later when we talk about that. Sold on the Legacy. There's a single blaster left. Yeah, I don't think they're going to sell here. I think that they're going to kind of clog the shelves, not because they're bad, but because they're really, really overpriced in Canada, like wildly overpriced. Toys R Us is going to be the worst one for it. I see Skids as a scion. I understand that. I don't know exactly what he is. I'm not a car guy, so I really don't know. The actual robot in disguise. Yes, the actual robot in disguise is a noticeable sports car. Exactly, Ashton. That's exactly why I love the guy. And I always did from when I was a little kid. One of my favorites was Skids, not because the character had a lot of character. He didn't. But because he was the epitome of a robot in disguise, right? He wasn't some old junk clunker that you would notice. He wasn't some fancy sports car, He's just your average vehicle. You want a transformer that's going to turn into something that's going to blend in, then he got to become like a Honda Civic. He got to become like a Kia Rio. You know what I mean? Like you got to become something like that, right? So the scooter, I think it's cool. It's not for me. It's an homage to the Diaclone. It's an homage to, I guess, the real life thing. It's an homage to the MP. I get all the homages. He didn't have it the couple of times he appeared in the G1 cartoon, so I don't need it, but I respect those who do, and I think it's a dandy looking little thing. Also, we saw MP56 Trailbreaker, and I love the robot mode. I think that the robot mode looks pretty spectacular, though I do feel like there's a little gap around the chest window that, but he looks pretty spectacular. I wish the head was a little bit of a better sculpt. And then I saw the vehicle mode, and I'm like, it looks beautiful, but it doesn't quite look like the way that I remember um, uh, Trailbreaker looking. I guess that the way it was drawn was a little more bulbous. Like the hood, to me, on this one feels a little more slanted down, maybe. But I get it. This is licensed, so it has to look like the thing is licensed after, right? And this is officially licensed by Toyota as the vehicle he's supposed to be, which is, just for interest's sake, a Hilux camper truck, 4-wheel drive Hilux camper truck, which is interesting because Input pointed out that the way the motor is set up, if you open the hood, because he has opening hood and opening doors, is set up for an all-wheel drive, I think, not a 4-wheel drive. Is that what it is? Or maybe it's a front-wheel drive and not a 4-wheel drive. Again, I'm not a car guy. Input will know. Come on, Input. Let me know what it was that was set up like. I think it looks good. I'm not an MP guy. If you are, I think that this looks really good. Very posable. It comes with all of the bells and whistles and accessories that you would expect them to have. 167.61 US. I mean, I think that in Canada, he's probably going to tip the scale at about 279, maybe 289 is kind of where I'm thinking he's going to land in terms of Canadian dollars. Bit expensive, but I think it's a great character. And I think it's a character who's long overdue, probably having a masterpiece iteration of himself. So those who are MP collectors, I hope you're happy. I know there have been other like unofficial third-party versions. And I have any of them done it better? Arguably for looks. I guess we'll have to see how the engineering is. You know me, I look at all this and I say, it looks beautiful. Let's see how it functions, Like I loved the look of MP Hound. And then I heard of a couple of breakage issues with him. I'm like, well, that kind of ruins that, right? So I don't know. We'll see how Trailbreaker is. He looks beautiful. Looks like he got a ton of paint too, which I really like and really respect. So we have the scooter done. We have the Trailbreaker done. What else do we have here? Buzzworthy Bumblebee, Cliff Jumper, Cup, and B127 have appeared in Canada at Toys R Us. Not at our Toys R Us yet that I know of. I've heard that our Toys R Us may not get a cut at all of that. I've also heard that Cup would be $42.99, I believe. Cliff Jumper would be $42.99. And that B127, you guessed it, $42.99. I don't see that tiny Cliff Jumper as good as that color scheme looks. I don't see no $42.99. I really don't. Now, if you want to know what the say conversion is, then do CAD to USD or USD to CAD and put in $42.99 Canadian and see what that turns into US. I'm pretty sure it's not $24.99 US. Just throwing that out there. Also, the Legacy Voyagers and Leaders apparently are out in Canada. I did see Bulkhead. I did not. I have a spot on my glasses. You guys see me without my glasses for a moment. I've seen the Bulkhead. I have not yet seen the Blaster. But again, the Voyagers here are $47.99 at Walmart of all places. I think $54.99 Toys R Us. The Leaders are $76.99 at Walmart. I think they're $79.99, maybe $84.99 at Toys R Us. I'm not 100% sure on that. It's rough prices, man, to stay in this collecting community at this time in this country. Then we get to Like Toys. And apparently they're putting out a 48-inch, 121-centimeter Metroplex, who has an opening jaw, who has light-up features, who is fully transformable, and apparently comes with an extra rib part. So if you keep the rib part out, you get something that looks more akin to, say, the Generations Metroplex or the G1 Toy Metroplex, who, in both cases, they have thin waists. Or you can add the rib piece, and it makes it look more animation accurate. Now, 48 inches, we're talking 4 feet. This is right in line with what Fans Toys is claiming they're going to do with Fort Max. Now they've done the head, the Cerebros. Will they do the full Fort Max? I don't know. Do people want a Metroplex that would be the same size as that Fort Max? I mean, I did it for Titan, and Titan is big enough. Like I personally would not have anywhere to put a 4 foot tall, because that's what 48 inches is, a 4 foot tall Transformer. If I can't even fathom bringing it in the house. Not even because Starscream wife would have anything to say. I got nowhere to put it. I got nowhere to put that. Just saying. Yeah, I know what the exchange rate is, Anthony. Actually, put it in. See what it actually is. You can put it in on Google, right? Like that. I think it's impressive what they're hoping for, but just like I thought with the Fort Max, it's one of those things. Like, I'm interested to see it. I would never want to own it at all. I can't imagine what the price would be. I would imagine it would have to be astronomical. Now, here's the difference between the Fort Max and this Metroplex. All we've seen looks to be a color render for this Metroplex, and it's by a company called Like Toys that I've never heard of personally. This seems like a very ambitious project for what's potentially a new company. I feel like the people behind it must be coming from somewhere else. With Fans Toys, at least they're established and people know them. So I feel like if either of these is ever going to see the light of day, I feel like the Fans Toys one has a better chance. But again, I think the market's going to be super duper small, because I honestly feel like most people will just not take affording it out of the picture. I don't feel like everybody would have a place to put something that big, Like, a lot of people, for example, even ordered the Unicron, and when they got it and realized just how big it was, they said, I don't have anywhere for this. Well, a buddy of mine had a full suit of armor for Iron Man, life size, 6 foot suit of armor, and it was like in the corner of his room, because he was like, I don't know where to put that. I got nowhere else to put it. It was amazing to see, but like, it'll always be a display piece, I guess, and a conversation piece. But like, you're not going to be able to put it anywhere discreet. It's going to have to be out front and center somewhere. So if you're cool with that, cool, go for it. I would be interested to see your 4 foot tall Metroplex and your 4 foot tall Fort Max. It's all the best I could say. I'd be interested to see it. It's not for me, but I'd be interested to see it. We saw some images of Shattered Glass Blaster. Looks good, but there's a lot of gray on him, and I'm pretty nervous about that. So that brings us to another topic that we really have to talk about here a bit, and some warnings that you might want to look at yourself. So it all kind of started with Trans Aaron some time ago, when the lower arms on his G2 Sandstorm started to turn yellow pretty badly. And I checked mine, and mine weren't. I've looked since then. Mine are beginning to turn yellow, and he is not out to get sunlight. I have also then started checking other ones that have been mentioned. My Shattered Glass Starscream, like, if he's yellow, he was yellow in package, because he hasn't changed any since I took him out. I just thought it was a bad white mismatch. Maybe it's yellow. I can confirm that my Hammer Bite, this was mentioned last week. I looked, my Hammer Bite is now more of a greeny color than the blue. He's turning. The Netflix Soundwave that everybody wants so bad, don't feel bad if you don't have him. His legs, and his arms and his button, all of that will turn. I have a little spot on the leg that's starting to turn, and the blue that's used on the lower legs is also turning. And Cyclonus, as wonderful as the Kingdom Cyclonus is, the gray on his hips, the very upper part of his hips, the gray hands, and the gray that are kind of part of the elbow area, all turning on mine as well. That's a significant. Oh, and apparently, though it's not doing it with mine yet, the Earthrise Starscream, his gray is also turning. So blue, gray, and white all confirmed to be a serious problem with turning yellow. You might want to start checking yours, honestly. Even if they haven't been out in daylight or anything, you're going to want to start checking. I think that's a serious problem. For the prices that they're charging to have this happen, I think is a serious problem, and it's enough of a problem that it makes me personally very leery about buying more of their products. Why? So in 6 months it can turn yellow, and then I got to paint it all anyway, because you've already overcharged me for it. Now you're using cheap materials that are going to turn. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, there's a concern there that I think us as a collector community have to be very careful about. very careful about. I don't think that they can continue to use whatever supplier they were using. And I said it before, I don't think they should have changed suppliers if they weren't able to go and do QC checks. We knew that what you had plastic wise was working. You should have stuck with it. Just saying. So worth noting that the Shattered Glass Blaster looks beautiful, but imagine if all of that gray turns yellow on you. Just food for thought. Food for thought. Otherwise, I think it looks beautiful, and I do love the red rewind. I like the blue one. I also like the red one. If I see it, I'll get it. I'm not planning on necessarily pre-ordering this, but if I see it, I'll probably get it. I really like a couple more Decepticons. I feel like I'm good with Autobots. I don't need really any more Autobots, but I'd like some more Decepticons. What else do we have? Trumpeter showed off their Bumblebee Arcee. She is 8 centimeters in height. If you know the Studio Series Wheeljack, she's about up to his chest. So, he's not a huge deluxe by any stretch of the imagination. So, she's pretty small and slight, but she looks beautiful, highly posable. She does not transform, but she is a gorgeous looking Arcee. Basically, no glue is needed. It is fully painted already. It kind of, I think, snaps together. This is licensed. Yeah. So, highly posable, well painted, and I would say she's about the size that she should be. Being just slightly shorter than Wheeljack kind of makes sense to me, I think. I'm going to check in with you guys before I go on with the rest of the news there. Let's go up and see what you guys are saying here. As we go up. Let's see. We are sold out on Legacy. There is a single blaster left. Yeah, we saw that one. Except for the 2 fossilizers. I like the fossilizers, honestly. A lot of people give them a hard time, but I like them. And I wouldn't complain about having a couple of more to try and make my, my weird Onyx Prime. See if I can make him a bit better, right? More parts. I'm not a builder guy by any stretch of the imagination. There are people way better at that stuff than me, but I like to fiddle with it more, especially with summer coming up. Actual robot in disguise. Yep, that's right. I read that one. I like Transformers that transform into basic cars. My argument the same as Stu Adams. I don't know what Stu's argument is, other than it looks like a robot in disguise, right? The Hatchback Squad. A Hyundai Sonata. There you go. Like it could turn into a Hyundai Sonata. That'd be great. What's going on? Hey, Marcus. Hey, Ash again. Grace Denner minivan. Jeep truck. Yeah, dual bladed. Yeah. I might just call you Scorpion. Scorpion's a cool name. Let's see. I like the MP Trailbreaker. It looks pretty good. Trailbreaker. Yeah, I'm cool with the MP Trailbreaker. Like in terms of look, I don't need it. I'm happy with my Earthrise one because I'm a mainline guy. But I saw it and I was like, that's not bad. I feel like the angles of the alt mode are a little different than I would have expected. But that's the actual vehicle compared to the drawing, right? So I get it. Set up as a front wheel drive, not rear wheel. No, what? Set up as front wheel drive, not rear wheel drive. Is that what it is? Can you tell? I know nothing about a car. I know how to turn the key and put in windshield wash. That's it. That's all I know about a car. Huge gap on Trailbreaker's side that shows the inner kibble is a no-go. I don't know if there's necessarily a way to hide that per se. I guess some of the third parties did, but I don't know. I'd have to see the engineering, I guess. Yeah, I'm not to the Twin Twist stuff yet. The original cost too much. MPs are pretty, but they are for looking, not touching. Yeah, exactly. And that's not for me, right? If I can't manipulate them, then I'm not interested. But I get it. And some people prefer just to have the look. They take it, they look at it, they say it's beautiful, they put it on a shelf, and they never touch it again. That's not me. I'm always taking stuff down. Hey, Cyber. Good, a few light welds. What? Got pelted with hail earlier. Man, oh man, you have the worst luck. Hey, Timmy. Did I make a top 10 RC list? I don't think I made a top. I don't know if I made a top 10 RC list. Have there been 10 RCs? I mean, G1 animated, I guess Cyberverse, I guess Prime, maybe Movieverse. Yeah, maybe a top 10 RCs. I'll make a note of that. I'm gonna make a note. Top 10 RC. Speaking of RC, let's talk about Studio Series. So, Studio Series showed off another Bumblebee. You got to stop with the Bumblebees. Man, you got to stop with the Bumblebees. Like, I'm to the point of I'm so sick of that character. I never liked him to begin with, but man, every single wave got a Bumblebee in it. Give it a rest. The Sideways looks pretty cool. His arms still look pretty long and big, but I mean, it looks like movie Sideways. And then we get to the real star that was shown off this week for Studio Series, and it is going to be the 86 RC, which a lot of people figured was just going to be some sort of a reuse of the Earthrise mold with maybe some gadgets attached or something, myself included. I really thought it was going to be. But in reality, it's almost a fusion of the Earthrise and the Generations with a heavy focus on the Generations. So what's the same? It seems like this blaster's probably the same. It seems like the upper body from the chest up is pretty much the same. They have re-engineered the whole tummy section and pelvis section so that she does have a waist rotation now, which is nice. She also has ankle tilt, which I've always missed with this one as much as I love her. I like the legs on this one better because the legs on the new one are very hollow, like on the, I can't even turn her thigh sensibly to show this really. Like the inside of the thigh on the new one is all open. I find that a shame. Like, I mean, why is it all, empty plastic? It could have been solid all the way around like this, but not a deal breaker. And the backpack on her, it's not quite as compact as this, but kind of folding out this section has always been a bit of a nuisance. And you obviously knew that like her thighs were the back of the car. I kind of like that this one seems like it's probably going to open out from the sides a bit and then fold out and sort of make a cohesive looking car. Here's the thing. The Earthrise is fine. Nothing wrong with it. But it wasn't striking it for me in terms of enjoying it better than this one. I love this one. I can't imagine something better other than a waist and ankle tilt. I've said that often, and guess what the new one has? Waist and ankle tilt. The new one might just be able to replace this one. She might. The only thing I don't like about the new RC is the hollowness on the inner thigh. It kind of ruins the look of the leg. I'm sure somebody will do like an upgrade kit. I'm sure the white won't match, but we shouldn't have to do that, right? With the prices being what they are, I don't think it was asking too much for her leg to be filled in. So I'm excited about it. And we'll see kind of how it goes. But I think she looks really good, and I'm glad it's not just another Earthrise use. It's heavily that with kind of the improvements that I've always wanted, ankle and waist. So I'm digging it. I like it, honestly. I really do. Going down through here, I like the X Transboss Trailbreaker. Yeah, the X Transboss Trailbreaker is nice as well. Let's see as we go down here. Of course, everybody hoping that our buddy Dragonfly heals quickly. We're going to send GotBot the Wrecker Bullhead. You ain't got to do that. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Core class? I'm not sure what was core class. I'm not sure what you were asking there, Dual Bladed, for core class. I guess it depends. MP Trailbreaker with left hand is Curse. As we go down here a bit. That must be a big boy. Yeah, I'm assuming the big boy you're talking about is that Metroplex. It got to be huge. Like, it's impressive. It's an impressive, ambitious project. I guess it depends on how well it functions. It depends on price. I mean, with something that big, can you imagine how heavy the ratchets are going to have to be on that? Can you imagine how thick and robust the plastic would be? If you use die cast, can you imagine what sort of joint you would need to be able to actually hold the solidity of that? I don't know. There's a lot to consider there. Put in a car seat in your back seat. Actually, that wouldn't work in my car either, because the back seat has like a doggy thing on it, and it's pretty much for Tessa. So the fan base's reaction to the price will be telling to how these companies go forward with the 4-foot tall city bots. People are going to buy it because they're addicted, right? People aren't going to think. I had somebody earlier this week who was arguing with me on Facebook who said that my reviews aren't true and honest and that I lie because I'm speaking with my wallet and I'm telling other people to speak with their wallet. And this is what he said: forget the price of anything. If you love it, get it whatever it costs. And he said, that's honest. No, that's an addict. An honest review is somebody who analyzes the product in front of them and suggests whether or not it's worth the price that is being asked for. Is the value proposition worth it? That's the job of a reviewer. If you're just reviewing something and you're saying you like everything and you suggest buying everything and you want everything and you suggest everybody else buy everything, that's not a review. That's a commercial. There's a difference. I review. Maybe I'm not the dude for you. That's cool. Maybe you just want somebody to be what I call a yes man reviewer. And a yes man reviewer pretty much does a commercial where they'll go through everything and at the end they're like, I like it. Even though they probably complained about it a bunch, they still say, I like it. Use my links to buy it. Like, that's a yes man review. I've even when I've worked with companies, I've told them up front, look, if you're going to like let me be an affiliate or something, like, cool, great. But I can tell you now, I'm going to be very honest in my reviews. And if the products are junk, then the products are junk. Right? So I don't know. I guess it depends on the type of person you like. But I don't think somebody could say, man, that like I'm not being honest because I do consider the value proposition. I think as an honest reviewer, you got to. And trust me, there are times that it kills me because I love it. I think it's really good. For example, the kickback, the legacy kickback, I give that high marks. I love it. But to say it's worth $40 Canadian, it's not. It's just not. But it's an excellent offering. I think the 25 US is a little steep. I feel like $20 US is a good price for it, right? So maybe 25, 26 Canadian is a good price for it. But that had nothing to do with the scores. The scores are high. Can I give it a recommend? Not for the full price, right? So, I mean, it is what it is. You got to consider all points as far as I'm concerned. $24.99 US is $32.99 Canadian. Right. So $32.99 Canadian. So where are they getting $36 Canadian? Sorry, $36.99 Canadian. Where are they getting $35.99 Canadian? Where are they getting, in the case of Toys R Us, $42.99 Canadian? You know what I mean? Like, sorry. Let's see. 2 bulkheads are not enough. I don't need more. What is it with everybody want me to love this bulkhead? Let's see as we go down here a little bit. I know I'm skipping some stuff here, so bear with me a bit. It's political that Anthony runs H&E Games. You should know that. Skids, the leader of the hatchback squad. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Dragonfly. My shattered glass Starscream is yellowing. I mean, again, like when stuff yellows, like I could paint it. It's just I shouldn't have to for the prices they're charging, right? My shattered glass Starscream is yellowing. I'm in talks with Hasbro to get another one. At least then he'll be half price. But like even if you get another one, Ken, like same thing's only going to happen, right? Same thing's going to happen. By the way, if you get one, that would be a first. I have so far heard 4 people who have complained about yellowing to Hasbro, and Hasbro's response has been very corporate, saying that sometimes this happens to offerings. They will not be replacing the product because the yellowing does not affect the functionality of the product. That was the corporate line that I've heard now 4 times from Hasbro. The yellowing is not a consideration because it does not affect the functioning of the product. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's not. But I know 4 different people have come to me over this past week saying that they, complained and reached out. And the response that they got back was, we will not be replacing it because a color differentiation, right? The yellowing does not affect the functionality of the product. Take that for what you will, but I don't think that's good customer service myself. Kind of worried for my Kingdom Cyclonus and Netflix Soundwave Net. Well, mine are turning. I can guarantee you that they're going to turn, and neither of mine are in sunlight at all. My Kingdom Cyclonus turned pretty bad, actually. I'm going to have to paint it. I'm going to have to find a way to match that rose silver, pink silver, whatever it is. I'm gonna have to find a way to do it because it looks awful. And the Soundwave is just starting. I don't know how bad it's going to get, but it's just a little bit. But I've seen a lot worse from a lot of people. Worth checking, worth keeping an eye on is all. I'm waiting on Twincast. Yeah, Twincast. Hopefully it'll be good. I mean, hopefully. The plastic issue is insane. Didn't realize it was that widespread. And I keep hearing new characters it's happening to. Like it seems like it's not one or two characters. It seems like it's getting more and more widespread. Like to me, that's a concern. And to me, that's a concern that could really make or break a company because are you going to keep, dishing out premium dollars for something that isn't even going to stay the color that the character is supposed to be? I think a lot of people would say, no, I'm going to go third party. Call it good. I don't know. Do what you got to do, but I'm just saying. I have not been complaining to Starscream Wife about the stuff you gave me, actually. She kind of wonders what some of it is. I'm moving all mine to the attic. It's not going to matter. Mine, I can guarantee you, mine are not in sunlight at all. And it's happening. Yeah, then just paint the parts. Well, no, you can't just paint the parts silver. You got to paint the parts the right color. You got to get a color match. Yellowing plastic syndrome. The next gold plastic syndrome. I agree, man. I agree. Okay, moving on here. Super 7 showed off their reaction Optimus Prime. That's the Optimus Prime with his chest open. It's supposed to be a mimic of the death scene just before he dies when the Matrix is still in him. And purple Megatron, who is like reformatting Megatron, whatever it is. I'm not a Super 7 guy. If you are, cool. Fans Hobby showed off their Doubledealer or the prototype for it. Robot looks glorious. But the bird is where the gold is because the wings are like angled with a flow. It's gorgeous. Big, bulky body. Man, really, really gorgeous. Comes with both of his minions, I guess. His two minions, Scar and Knock. Again, they look like great little molds. Then we get to the missile truck thing. It's fine. It's good. But I feel like it looks a little flat, a little simplified. Now, I'm sure it's accurate. I'm sure it's correct. But I saw it and I was like, that's the one mode that looks it doesn't look bad by any stretch of the imagination. It looks very clean, actually. But it also looked a little, I don't know, like where the Scar, I think, is the lad. And I think Knock is the bird, I think. Like where Scar can sit, like I feel like maybe that should have had like a cab over or something. Just something small, nothing big, but just a little tweak. Otherwise, I think Fans Hobby got a really neat looking Doubledealer on their hands. Interesting choice. They do tend to do a lot more of car robots and Unicron trilogy stuff. So this is an interesting choice. Sort of one of those like G1 out there guys. So I don't hate it. Beautiful head sculpt on Doubledealer. Looks to have really good articulation, very dynamic. I guess we'll see what it's like. But, Fans Hobby has been building a generally good reputation for themselves. Sometimes some of their tolerances or materials have been a little iffy, but the designs seem to kind of go over well. And I think the older the company gets, I would like to think the better that quality will become because I think they're already kind of nailing a lot of design elements. So take that for what you will, but I like Fans Hobby. We talked about Arcee and that Dark of the Moon B that I mentioned, and the Sideways. The Sideways vehicle mode is beautiful, by the way. That Studio Series Sideways, his vehicle mode is gorgeous. The robot mode, the robot mode's weird, but it's Bayverse. I mean, it is what it is. It's not a bad Sideways. It's just a weird Sideways, right? Let's see. What else do we have here? Lego Optimus Prime, 170 US. The number is 10,302. That's the set number. He has 1,508 pieces, 35 centimeters in height, 13 and a half inches. He comes with like a bevy of accessories, including his axe and the Matrix and all of the other kind of stuff that you would expect him to have. He can actually convert and change between modes, which I think is really neat. The arms are fully articulated, but then when we get into the legs and the guy got no knees. Now, I get it. I understand why it is. For stability, you're using Lego and whatnot, but no knees. Like for me, that would be a deal breaker. Now, that being said, I am not a Lego connoisseur. I am not a collector and a big fan of Lego. I think if you are a Lego fan and you are a Transformers fan, this is absolutely for you. if you are a Lego fan, and maybe even a passing Transformers fan, this is absolutely for you. If you are a hardcore, and I mean hardcore Optimus Prime fan, this is probably for you. It'll definitely have a market, even with him being kneeless. I'm just not that market. But if you are, I totally understand it. And I do think the robot looks good. And honestly, I think the truck looks good. I think that they actually did something here with like building blocks, and it looks really good. Like I've seen the Sentinel Prime, myself and Starscream wife put that together. I think that might have been Creo, and the Megatron, and you had to like take them apart if you wanted to transform them and rebuild it, right? And like those robots were rough, man. They were rough, but the Lego one looks really, really good. I it's not for me, but I'm not hateful of it. That makes sense, right? Not for me, but I'm not hateful of it. We also saw a loot crate with Beast Wars Megatron. He has 3 points of articulation. Looks a little super deformed with his proportions. He kind of comes up to the waist of Kingdom Beast Wars Megatron. He looks all right, but I mean it's a loot crate thing, so if you want a little weirdly proportioned, almost like animated proportions, like very thin, that I guess his head can move and I guess each of his arms can move. If that's good enough for you, then cool. Get the loot crate, I guess. I'm not into the loot crate stuff and whatnot. Maybe you are. Transformers turned 38 this past week. Yes, 38. And it was noted with the I guess anniversary of like I think the first Marvel Comics issue. And we saw storyboards that kind of outlined the way the commercial was going to go, but nobody had names. The characters that we have come to know and love didn't have names. They were just there. And in the commercial, which you can also see, like Prowl's obviously there, for example. And I think Soundwave is obviously there, for example. The thing that stuck out to me was when Megatron comes in and starts using his arm bazooka, and he has the black helmet, like he's the comic book Megatron. And that's when it really stood out to me, because looking at it, the animation, even in the commercial, looked a lot like the Sunbow animation, right? Except for Megatron. He really stood out like kind of a sore thumb. I think that maybe T-Formers, maybe even TFW 2005, like I think a couple of sites like that kind of got the storyboard and got the a link to the commercial if you want to see it. It's a neat little thing. It's only a few seconds, of course, but it's a neat little thing for sure to see. What else do we have? We saw a screen to toy of Thundercracker, the Studio Series Thundercracker. The screen went a lot darker, grittier, less blue, more gray. For example, the shoulders and upper arms have a lot more blue on the Studio Series figure. The lower legs have a ton more blue, and the feet have a lot more blue. Seeing the Thundercracker next to the Starscream and the Thrust actually looks really good. It's a great mold. It's a fun mold. I think I kind of like the look of the Thundercracker the best, honestly. I would imagine a Skywarp will be forthcoming, and I would imagine that Skywarp will look spectacular. I get it if you don't have that mold and you've passed on it. It's a weird looking mold, man. It really is. But I'm telling you now, don't cut it short. It's a fun mold. It's really enjoyable. And then that brings us to Rec and Rule. I'm going to check in with you guys, and then we're going to talk about the Rec and Rule kind of sets and what I think of that, because a lot of people have said to me, oh, you're going to destroy them and you're going to this and that. I think I got some pretty interesting thoughts about that. So we're going to check in with you guys, and then we're going to see about the Rec and Rule sets and what I think about that. And then we're going to do the trivia and the unboxing, get out of here. Let's see. Let's go up here and see what you guys were kind of saying where I left off. Hey, Ninja Bill. I'm going to put them in your attic. Let's go down here. Paint the parts. As we go down. Are we talking about the color changing figures that have been out for a few years now? Yeah, we were certainly talking about them. Yeah. Studio Series Ratchets. Hi. Oh, apparently the Studio Series Ratchet, apparently his white is also prone to changing and yellowing. So if you got that Ratchet, buyer beware, I guess, because that's what I've heard. He's also on the list. I forgot to mention him. Yeah, no, see, silver and gray are not the same thing. You're saying silver gray is what Starscream uses. You're right. But silver and gray are not the same thing. His thighs are gray. So you would have to do it gray. If you're going to color the thighs silver, then you're going to have to color the forearm silver. You're going to have to color his button silver. It all got to go silver. You can only have one or two ways. And I think gray is more accurate for that. But it's interesting. I looked at him next to the Siege one, and the gray is a different shade. It seems like if it's a warm gray, it's going to be more prone to turning than if it's a cool gray, for whatever that's worth. You see the, how much was it? They gave it to me, or what? Welcome to the collection. I'm in severe credit card debt meme. I did not, but I could understand it. You should not go in debt for this. This is a hobby. This is a collection. Don't put it on your credit card. Or if you do, like, pay it off when you get paid. And if you can't, then don't buy it. That's my financial advice to you, for what it's worth. I think the issue is less UV damage and maybe a combination with oxidation. I mean, maybe, I guess it could be. I don't know, but I know that mine aren't in the light, so take it for what you want. What parts do Soundwave? What parts of Soundwave are yellowing? His forearms, his thighs, the little pieces that flip out that's in his legs, the little gray pieces that flip out, like you flip his feet in. Oh, his feet, the button, basically any of the gray, and then on the sides of his legs, there's a section where, like, there's a holder that you can put like a fossilizer or weaponizer piece in or something, maybe. That blue that's on the side of his legs also turns kind of greenish. So a lot of parts, significant amount of parts, actually. The color changing is an unknown feature. Yeah, right. Unknown feature is a bonus feature. I think it has to do with the QC. Oh, of course it has to do with the QC problem, because they were too lazy to check QC. And before anybody defends them and says, oh, but they couldn't travel over there, then you hire someone in the country where your factory is to do QC checks. You don't just not do QC and then jack up prices and sell product. No, that's abuse of your fans. That's abuse of your customers. We're not even going to bother to check our stuff. We're just going to trust it works out. No, you should have hired someone to do QC checks. And now you're going to make people angry. Can you imagine if you buy that Titan Metroplex, man, and it yellows on you in a couple of months? Can't imagine it. Super 7 dying prime. It's not so much dying. It's just his chest is open. I guess he's dying, but it's just his chest is open. Scar is the bad. Okay, Knock is the humanoid. Sorry, I had it reversed. My mistake. Knock is the humanoid. What? Yeah, the Super 7 stuff would make okay Christmas ornaments. Let's see. The lack of quality checking is simply why it was not caught. Absolutely. But I would say that the lack of quality checking is unforgivable. Multi-billion-dollar company, and you can't check your stuff before you sell it. Yeah, there's a problem there. That's the same sort of problem that you had, man, when you said that you didn't even know that Canada didn't get any of the Conehead packs. You didn't even know there was an issue. Like, there's a communication breakdown there or something, man. The problem is poor quality plastic. Yeah, absolutely. Cheap materials. White plastic syndrome is the new GPS. It's not even white plastic, though. It's a lot of different colors, right? The Lego Prime looks amazing. I'm not sure if it's for me. It does look amazing. I'm impressed with it. I like knees. You're really limiting the display ability without knees. I'm taking expensive risk buying Cyclonus to see if they will yellow. Yeah, you are taking expensive risk. I'm glad that they finally made a Lego Optimus Prime. My dream come true. Well, then there you go. See, it's for someone like you, right? You're the market, right? Hey, Slow. I'm shocked Hasbro is letting Lego Prime transform. Me too. But this is Lego you're dealing with. Like, this is not some, no offense to Super 7, but like, this ain't Super 7. This is Lego. I'm just saying. You're dealing with a Titan-sized company, pardon the pun. I could hope to do the Lego Optimus if they do an override. I don't see them doing an override. I mean, this is a big enough risk with Optimus Prime. Override is way down the chain from Optimus Prime. The largest Creon Prime toy with his trailer was a 2-day build. Ugh. Yeesh. Not for me. I don't have that time. I'm in for the Lego Prime, not a big Lego guy. Okay, yeah. A lot of people, few people here in for the Lego Prime. That's cool. That's called Fusion Cannon. Except they didn't call it Fusion Cannon in the thing. They say his arm bazooka. I was a bigger Lego guy prior to my current Transformers collecting, so it might be for you, right? G1 Megatron design in that commercial explained that the Megatron was using a prototype from Diaclone as of course it was. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, I totally understand it, but that commercial was, of course, meant for the comics. And truth is, in the comics, Megatron did have that black helmet. Like, it is what it is. It doesn't matter what reference they were using. That's indifferent. What? That's my phone ringing. I'm not going to be answering it, and Starscream wife can't hear it. But yeah, I get the reference. It's just, it doesn't matter, right? It's the comic thing, and it just stood out to me because it's the comic thing, right? Let's see. Due to the late stream, what? Late to the stream, so you probably already answered. But what do you think of the new Lego Prime? No knees, out. That's an instant killer for me. But I'm not a Lego guy, so I'm indifferent. I mean, I don't own. We have one Lego thing here, and it's the TARDIS, and like, it's still not built. It's not even my Starscream wife's. It's here. It's still not built. But it's just, I don't have the time or the patience for it. It looks cool. Looks cool. I'm not the market for it. Looks really cool. Wish he had knees. I'm hoping for what? Frostferanu? What? Deluxe. I don't know what that is. Studio series are better than what people have said. Studio series, Bumblebee Seekers. Yeah, the Seekers are glorious. I kind of like the Wreck and Rule packs, but I'm debating on getting. Yeah, I'm going to get into that in a moment when I get down through here. That's what we're going into next. Scalpers, we'll definitely try and buy the Lego Optimus, I guess, but I mean, it's already 170 US. How much do you think I'm going to scalp it for? Try to chill in the 96-degree heat. Eesh, that's rough. I'm not exactly sure what that turns into Celsius, but 96 sounds hot. Sounds like a lot. I don't use credit cards. I mostly use gift cards. That's a good way to do it. That holder is changing. Yeah. The biceps turn greenish too on Soundwave. Now, to be fair, I changed the arms of my Soundwave out with the Siege one because I liked the red line that was around them. I haven't looked because I put the like Netflix Soundwave arms on my Siege Soundwave, and he's in a bag in my closet. Never sees the light of day. It'd be interesting to know if they've turned on him. Started near 90 here in starting near 90 here in Ohio. I don't know if 90 is hot either. I don't know Fahrenheit. Titan Metroplex turns yellow will make people angry. You're right, it will. And right now I'd be nervous about it because I haven't heard them say, "Oh, we're not going to use that plastic." They just said, "Oh, that was a problem. I guess we'll bring that to somebody." And like, that was all that was said on it. You know, you can't not talk about an issue where your product changes color. I agree they should do QC checks. If they don't, then who came up with that should get fired. I agree, but they won't be fired. They'll be protected because it's obviously somebody higher up, and this was a cost-saving measure because, you know, rich people need more yachts. I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to be honest. The new Impactor head looks weird to me. It looks super duper comic accurate, though. It's whites, blues, greens, and grays that are changing. There you go. Ninja Bill said it there, and I'd say he's about right. I did buy Lego Voltron. That one I had to buy. It's the type of plastic they're using. There are ways to treat. What? There are way too many images. Oh yeah, there's a ton, and more every day. Blue Lego has always been owned by a Dutch family. Yeah, it has. Right now, I'm craving chocolate. Don't know why. I always crave chocolate. I love chocolate. 32 degrees Celsius is 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Ugh, you can keep that. I wouldn't be able to move. I literally would not be able to move. I can't do. I'm no good in the heat. Like, I don't like summer. I'm not a summer fan at all. I like fall and spring. I like, 20 degrees Celsius and under. So what's that? 80? 80 maybe Fahrenheit and under. I'm good with. Anything above that, too hot for me. Pretty standard. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's rough for you guys. 32 Celsius is 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, I don't know. I haven't looked it up. Fall is my favorite time of year. I'll probably melt in that heat. Yeah. I get like dizzy and lightheaded and can't move and vertigo and stuff when it's too hot. Like, I would never be able to like go south when people like go to Mexico and stuff for holidays, or Dominican Republic and that sort of, like, I'd never survive. I would never survive, man. Okay, so let's talk about the Wreck and Rule set. So first things first, I'm not really in for many of these at all. Bulkhead. I got this guy. I don't need him in camo. I don't think it looks like Bulkhead. It's a fine transformer. I literally have no use to have this more than once. None. I'm not in love with it. It's a solid transformer, but like I'm interested to see who it's actually intended to be, because this is obviously not the first intended character for this mold, because it's not Bulkhead. The camo one, even less so. Great transformer. Looks really cool, but I don't understand why they call it Bulkhead. Next, I got Impactor. I don't need the new one. I do, however, like that the new one has what looks to be a solid purple arm. I do like the new head, though I like this head too. Both are arguably comic accurate, though I do find the new one is smoother, which would be definitely more comic accurate. I do like the texture on this one more. And I do like the piece on the new one. This has a couple of little like molded in starts and dents and stuff. I like the smoothness of the new cannon piece more. And I like the bulbous nature of the remolded chest on the new one. But I don't need another Impactor. I got this one. If you don't have Impactor, if you for some reason did not get this guy, who's already been out 3 times, get the new one. Do yourself a favor. This is a tremendous mold. I didn't know the character until I bought it. I'd never heard of the Wreckers. Well, that's a lie. I'd heard of the Wreckers. I had read Sins once, but like I had never, like, I didn't know him from Marvel, and I didn't know, like, why would this guy have this head sculpt rather than the other one that, I knew, right? Like, he was very passing. I had to look up information about him. I bought him and I liked the mold without even knowing who the character was. That said a lot about just how good this is. That being said, well, I'm not getting it, man. I would so be down for the fossilizers. I really would actually be down for the fossilizers, because I like the fossilizers. I got to look at that. We got a bot. That's great. I love when that happens. All right. That'll eventually get rid of that. Let's see. So I'd love to have the fossilizer there. That's the only thing I want from that pack is the fossilizer. Then we have Springer. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm 100% animation accurate guy. We know this. I like this mold. I don't have a problem with this Springer, but this is my Springer. This is the way that the guy looked on the show. This is my Springer. I saw the new one. I was like, look at that. Animation accurate or toy accuracy. Input's going to love it. And then I heard, well, it's actually accurate to the Marvel UK comics. And then some people said, well, it's not quite accurate to that either. It's accurate to the toy. So I think it might be a little Marvel UK, a little bit toy. What I find interesting is that why in that transformation for that one, do they not, let's see if I can do this. Do they not put these up like this, like the G1 toy, right? Why don't they put the shoulder pads up like that? It would look more correct for the toy. Great mold. If you didn't get this one, I do suggest getting that one, because it's a great mold. I'm not, because I'm not a toy accurate guy. It's not for me. I'm not the market for it, but I can't fault the mold. I like it. Then we have The G2 Leadfoot, I'm not going to lie, until literally, what was it, yesterday, day before last, I literally did not know there was a G2 Leadfoot. I'd never heard of him. I knew nothing about him. Didn't know what he looked like. Zero. Didn't know it existed. So I had to look it up and find out who it was. And that's the one that I did put a pre-order on. I don't know if I'll keep it. Not because I know the character, but I got to be honest. I love the look of the yellow and blue together. I think it looks really smart. Plus, I like the fossilizer. I like the Master Dominus. It looks like a mastodon, right? Or a mammoth, maybe, right? That's what I was going for, a mammoth. I'm kind of in for that one. Now, that being said, when you look at the renders, he's blue and yellow. When you look at the pictures of the actual guy, I think he's all done in yellow plastic. And I think all the blue on him is painted, plus his head is painted yellow. Interesting. I don't know how well the paint will last. We'll see. I feel like the upper thighs with the paint on, I feel like that could scratch through transformations. Knowing that Mirage mold, I feel like those upper thighs, man, could scratch. Maybe they won't. We'll have to see. And then we have what I think is going to come tomorrow. And I've been saying this a few times. Top spin and twin twist. Look. These are glorious. This is the apex of modern era for valuation. Not to say that there aren't ones that are engineered better. There are, but not for the price. In Canada, I don't know what they were in the US, but in Canada, I got both of these for $17.99. Taxes in, they were like $18.50 or something. Less than $20 Canadian. And these move a lot. There's a lot of articulation. There's a lot that goes into the transformation here. These molds are stupendous. If you didn't get them or you only got one, do yourself a favor, get the 2-pack. I know it's Diaclone colors. Maybe you prefer that. Maybe you don't. But a lot of people, in particular with Twin Twist, say they want a Twin Twist. Do it. I'm very confident in saying do it. But here's the thing. While I'm only getting one set, mostly because I have the decos of the characters the way I want them, I think that this whole line, the Wreck 'Em Roll line, is perfect. Absolutely perfect for an exclusive. None of them are absolute necessity characters. Some of them are main characters, but with an alternate deco. So if you really want the alternate deco, then get the exclusive. But you know what? You can get a bulkhead at main retail. You were able to get a Springer at main retail. You were able to get the jump starters, granted a while ago, but at main retail. I've always said that you should not have main characters as exclusives. I think doing this Wreckers line, and I think choosing the characters they have as exclusives is exactly what exclusives should be. I actually really support this. I think that this is the best exclusive line I've seen in years because it actually, by definition, is ideally what exclusive should be. All of them solid molds. I think the bulkhead is iffy as a bulkhead, but it's a solid mold. The impactor is great. The jump starters are great. The Springer is great. It's just these aren't the decos that I want. So take that for what you will. Let's do the trivia, and then I'll check in with your comments, and then we'll do the unboxing and get out of here. So the trivia tonight comes to us by Ultra Megatronus, though I altered it ever so slightly. In the Transformers Prime episode, Scrap Heap, two characters at different points in the episode say to each other, "Did you scream like a girl?" Who were the two characters who said it? Was it Jack and Ratchet? That's A. Was it Rafe and B? That's B. Is it Optimus and Arcee? That would be C. Or is it Miko and Bulk? D. Who said to each other, "Did you scream like a girl?" at two different points in the episode? Was it A, Jack and Ratchet? Was it B, Rafe and B? Was it C, Arcee and Optimus? Or was it D, Miko and Bulk? I'm going to check in with you guys here now. Actually, I'm going to get a drink. Sorry if you heard me drinking there, but that was a solid hour of news, man. As we go down here a bit, Fall to Winter is Waspinator's favorite too. You don't need him in camo? Too bad. You're getting him. 4 of him. I might. Just you watch now. I will too. I wish the Master Dominus was by itself. Yeah. I'd totally be in for those 2 fossilizers. I have that impactor. I like that impactor. Bot impactor said bot Leadfoot for the fossilizer only, getting top spin twin twist tomorrow. Be some joke now that last pack isn't top spin and twin twist like everybody expects. I thought that, I mean, I'd heard a lot about it. I'd heard that it was going to be the Diaclone names, but they might have been code names, and I heard that it was going to be, at least one of them was going to be part of the 4-pack, but I prefer this. I'm glad that information changed. They call it bulkhead because they put a bulkhead head on it. So, yeah, I get it. I could have retroactively amended the stupidest Transformers name list. What? If we could retroactively amend the stupidest Transformers name list or make a sequel, Master Dominus sorely needs to be on that list. Maybe Master Dominus is great. Yeah, I know. I was dealing with that. Oh, I gotta go up, man. You guys had a lot to say here. Operation Bot, the only kind of robot we don't like around here. There's Springer. You're more Thrilling 30, Anthony. You guys are talking a little bit there about Springer. And to be fair, the Thrilling 30 Springer is impeccable. Let's see. Right down here. I do like the T30 version. It is why I also got did not get the Autobot Sandstorm. Oh man, I did get the Autobot Sandstorm. I love that one. I'm now curious what a bug convoy would look like. I don't know. Does something mean big convoy? Maybe. I think Springer is based on the colors from the Springer that was a recolor of Cybertron Evac. Yeah, probably is input, maybe. D. Yeah, you guys are right. It's D. It was Bulk and Miko. Miko said it to Bulk when the lights went out and he was afraid of the dark. And Bulk said it to Miko when there was a bug and she was afraid of bugs. Big tough Bulk, afraid of the dark, right? I might get the Leadfoot pack, Bulkhead, maybe Springer. Bless you, Starscream wife. Gotta go, guys, says Ken. Wish you guys a great end of the week. Be well. First time I got it first. Yeah, I'll be happy, man. You were right. Okay, so let's get into this week's unboxing. I gotta move this stuff here out of the way. So I'm still working through the box from Maximal 10. And this is a bag of Transformers Animated McDonald's Happy Meal offering. So that is a very sad looking Starscream. I guess his feet can move up. I guess he could stand up. It's not good. Then we have this Optimus. I mean, well, I say it's not good. Like, I mean, it transforms. Like, you know, like he still transforms. It's still a transformer. When was the last time in like a Happy Meal you actually got a transformer that transformed? I'm just saying. RID 2015 did not. Here is the animated Lugnut one. Who else does he have in here from that set? The Megatron, very Starscreamish. Oh, they're loose on his arms. They're rather loose on old Megatron's arms. I love this Megatron, by the way. His voice, so sinister. So sinister. Then we have Bumblebee, right? And you guessed it, Ratchet. So I'll probably look at all of them in one. I don't usually do a fast food thing, but why not? I'll look at all these in one. That'll be a fun little review one day. So let me put all of those kind of back in this bag for now. So yeah, so when was the last time that you saw anything from Animated? And when was the last time you saw anything that was like food toy related from Animated? Then we have, pardon the noise. Then we have animated Lugnut, the full-size lad. I cannot wait to compare this guy to the RTS. The plain mode of the RTS infinitely larger than this, but I'm looking forward to this guy. Feels so hefty and robust. The plastic was so good on animated. So good. Oh, feels so good. Also in this bag we have Skids and Mudflap, the ice cream truck boys. I've never ever handled this mold or these molds. Or maybe it's this mold. I'm not sure. I've never handled this, but that is one ugly ice cream truck right there. I do not like Skids and Mudflap. Just as characters, I don't like Skids and Mudflap. Then we have also down in this bag, I think Blue saw this guy. This is obviously some barricade from Dark of the Moon, maybe? It's a stealth barricade. I don't know what this is, but we'll see. We will see. That'd be ugly. Ice Crisis Brothers. I like that. Ice Crisis. I bet Frank Welker liked Corey's Megatron, maybe. Yeah, well, yeah, new Lugnut would be good. Corey Burton's Megatron is high up there. Doesn't get enough praise. I agree. I really agree. Lost My Bean, never got Ratchet. My little brother has the McDonald's Beast Wars. There you go. I never got them. Did Scrap Heap come before Predatory? And I don't know. It was season 2, episode 1. I don't know. You'd have to look up Scrap Heap. I really don't know when it was. Oh, there's a Silverbolt in there, but I've looked at Silverbolt. I own Silverbolt. Yeah, he's great. I love Silverbolt, but I own him and I've reviewed him already. So I already got old Silverbolt. Sometimes that happens. Around here. That's a 7007 Recon Barricade. Okay, whatever. 2007 Recon Barricade. Okay, there you go. Recon Barricade. Well, I seen it. Dark of the Moon, Toy Line, Scrap Heap came out in season 1. Okay, so there you go. Then there's, I don't even know what this is. Is it a version of Beachcomber? No, it's a Decepticon. I don't know what this little thing is. This must be Unicron Trilogy. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what this is. Can somebody tell me what this is? Does anybody know what this is? Some Beachcomber pose. Cybertron Flatline? I've never heard of them. I don't have a clue what that is, but I'll review it. I'll look it up. I'll learn about it. I'll review it. I think this might be Stratosphere. Is this Stratosphere? Is this movie Stratosphere? It's Autobot. I don't know if that's what this is. I don't know what this is, but I feel like it's movie. This is definitely movie something, but I don't know. It got to be movie something, right? Yeah, that's Stratosphere. That's what I thought. I thought that was Stratosphere. Then down here. Oh, heavens to Betsy. Hold on. Oh, way down in the bottom here. Okay, I can leave some of that down there because it's just... I can leave some of this down. Do you like watching me rummage through this bag? Yeah, that's rotors for a helicopter. And what's that thing? I don't know what that is, but we'll find out. This is it evac or is this the first aid and his rotors are in the bag? Is this this is first aid, right? Like this is the first aid use, isn't it? Right? Somebody tell me. Oh, Blades. I'm not first aid, Blades. Dole. Thank you, Blades. I said first aid, but I meant Blades. Yes. Okay, Blades from Universe. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. GTO, one of the smallest transforming Prime toys you will ever see inside Stratosphere. Would that be this little lad, Ninja Bill? This teeny tiny little lad. Is that him? Somebody tell me. Rummaging through that bag slower. Got some sexy ASMR. Yeah, I did too, right? Did you like that? Yeah, it goes in jet. This is something. This is something. Is like, yeah, like a micromaster. Like transforms. This is wild. So we'll look at all that, but I do have something else here. We're almost through the unboxing. So Stratosphere, lug nut, flatline. We have the skids and mud flap. We have some animated fast food offerings. I told you it was weird. I told you that it was weird. And I kind of like this already. And then the last thing is from our buddy Ultra Megatronus, and I thank him so very, very much. And it's boom, our boy Skids. And I will compare him on Tuesday because tomorrow is going to be Laser Prime. By the way, if you didn't see Tuesday, I did a review of the G2 Laser Prime, the original one from 1995, as like a prelude to tomorrow's review of the Legacy one. Next Tuesday, we'll look at this guy next to this guy. Not going to lie, I hate this guy. Always did. Got it for Skids because I loved Skids. I still like the alt mode, but the robot mode on this is rubbish, and I've never liked it. What do I think of this guy? Well, we're going to find out on Tuesday. But I do love that deep blue. Really, really do. Hope it doesn't turn green. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We've done it all. We've been here a long time. My wife has been patient. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, stick around, and have some fun with us. And that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, baby, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams here on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.